Hmm? Good afternoon, I'm Jeff. I'm a Sewer Tech Northwest. Today we're at property address 15965 Southwest Bull Mountain Road here in Tigard. We're located at the left side of the home, right out front of the crawl space hatch. We have a 4-inch ABS cleanout as our point of access. I'm going to insert the camera and check the overall condition and serviceability of the sanitary sewer line. Currently have water running. Here we go. And it transitions immediately upon access here to schedule 3034 PVC pipe. This tie-in right here at the top of the pipe, this looks like there's a metal clean-out cover right in the asphalt. It's like a little extra parking space here on the left side of the house. That's where the second clean-out is for the line. It's underneath that plate there. So we're out here we're 180 feet out. We're way the heck out currently. Um, I'm going to locate here in just a moment and see. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to get the camera to go much further. The camera is 200 feet, but it's very, very hard to get a camera to go 200 feet unless it's just a dead straight shot. We'll see if we can do it here. But anyway, due to the length of the line here, I'm not sure how this line is set up. I don't know if we're still in homeowner responsibility pipe here or if we're in city's responsibility. And we're at the extent of my camera here. I'm going to locate and see where we're at. Alright, located the camera head. It's going all the way down a little private street here, all the way out to Bull Mountain Road, it looks like. So we probably have at least another 40-50 feet of sewer line until we actually get to the main. And we're going to see if we can... I did see some tie-ins on the way out. We're going to let this thing drain here for a minute so we can have a decent look at the line on the as we pull back here, but we're going to try and move to a secondary cleanout if possible. And with a line like this, where it's this long, and it looks like a private drive or something here. I'm not sure how this is set up with this neighborhood street, but definitely contact the city and find out where responsibility starts and stops in this situation. It's kind of a unique setup, having a line this long. We do have still some water going through the line here. This is a very long sewer line. It's going to take probably at least 5 minutes, if not longer, to fully drain out. It does look like we probably have a little bit of standing water here on the bottom of the pipe. We still have water running through, but it's just the way that it's kind of moving as I pull back here. A very thin skiff of it, probably around 1/16 of an inch or less. Now, with lines this long, it can be very, very tricky to get slope and grade perfect on them. They're just so dang long. There's so many chances for parts of the line to settle, as well as the fact that a lot of main laterals are just not set at a depth to accommodate a line this long. So it's pretty common to end up with a little bit of standing water on the bottom of the pipe, and unless it's significant, in situations like this, it's generally not even worth trying to correct it. To try and correct all the standing water on a line like this, you have to just about redo the entire stinking thing, and it's just way too big of an undertaking. So lines like this, of this length, even if they function perfectly and drain out all the way, because of their length, they tend to allow debris to slow down and stop up in the line. So whenever houses change hands with lines like this, I recommend doing a rescope in 1 to 2 years to get an idea of how the line is handling the new homeowners' living habits and everything. Lines like this do sometimes have to be hydrojetted, which is a high-pressure water cleaning on some kind of basis. Usually it's like every couple years, 2 or 3 years, just to keep any debris buildup to a minimum. I'm going to try and locate the camera head here. This looks like we've got a second clean out coming in. Alright, I located this spot here, and this is actually underneath the street itself. There's no access point there or anything like that, unfortunately, so I'm not going to be able to use that. I think there's 1 or 2 other secondary points of access. There is a definite clean-out, secondary clean-out just after we access the line. It's only about probably 15 feet away from the first point of access, so That'll let us get a little bit further. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to get all the way out to the main lateral if we don't have a clean out beyond that point, though. We've had the line turned off, or the water turned off here for quite a while. You can see there is some looks like some standing water. There is still some draining going on as well, but the skiff of water there is very, very minimal. It's even less than 1/16 of an inch. It looks like more so because my camera's sloshing it around, but when I stop the camera, you can see how thin that really gets to. So, but because you do have some standing water there over such a long length of pipe, sometimes, especially with items that shouldn't go down the sewer line, if someone accidentally flushes paper towels down the pipe, it can be very difficult for that kind of stuff to get 250 feet or so down the line, especially if you have even a little bit of standing water. So that's why I say it's worth re-scoping the line in 1 to 2 years to see what it looks like. That'll give you a baseline for how often, if ever, you should be doing hydrojetting on this. So it's kind of hard to tell what's going on here, but that looks like the edge of a Fernco. It's a rubber sleeve that goes around and joins joints together. It looks like somehow it slipped and popped through the sewer pipe here. This is not something that's affecting the flow currently, but there is a breach in the joint there. It could allow roots in. It could allow certain things to happen if given time. Currently, it's not affecting the flow, but because of the compromised joint there, I'm going to locate it, mark it for repair. It's not something that necessarily needs to be fixed right away, but definitely keep it in the back of your mind. It's one of those things that it will probably take some time before it turns into an issue, and it may never become an issue, but with a joint that's compromised like that, I have to recommend repair on it. Alright, I've located and marked this particular area here. I've marked it with a white X. We're at 5 feet 7 inches deep here. This is actually about 4 feet or so beyond the secondary cleanout, so it's a little bit further down the line than I thought. So anyway, we're gonna move up to that second point of access to scope at least just a bit more of the line. Hopefully we can get another 30 feet or so further. Anyway, I do recommend a repair here to correct the joint, as it is compromised there. That rubber sleeve is supposed to be around the pipe, sealing the two joints together, or the two pieces of pipe together there, and that sleeve is popped through. And right here, this looks like our secondary point of access. So anyway, it's 35 feet down the line, so anyway, hopefully it should at least get us all the way to, it's going to get us really close, if not just past, or on the Southwest Bull Mountain Road. So we stopped probably about 25 to 30 feet or so short of Bull Mountain Road, where I located it at 195 feet out. We're going to go ahead and move over to that spot there. Okay, we're at the second point of access. We started right down there by the air conditioning unit. Right here adjacent to us is the marking for the repair on the compromised joint there where the rubber seals pop through. And we have water turned back on again. Here we go. And we reach the extent of the camera again. We'll locate, see where we're at here, and then reel back. We're going to give the line about 5 minutes or more here to drain out. I located the camera head once again. I paced it off with steps right back to back, and I'm about 25 paces or feet away from this Bull Mountain Road. So if the main lateral is out in the middle of Bull Mountain, we're still about 50 feet from the main lateral. If it's offset to the side of the road, on like this side of the road, we might be 25 feet from the main. Either way, this is as far out as we're able to get here. It looks like the third or tertiary clean out, that was about 160 feet out from the first clean out we used. That one again is about 2 feet up underneath the roadway with no access to it. So it would require that clean out be exposed to service the line any further than this with a camera anyway. Alright, well, I'm going to go ahead and reel the camera out of the line here. We've already seen all this pipe once before. So anyway, the sewer line is functioning at this time. Again, we do have a very thin amount of standing water throughout the whole pipe essentially, but it's not the kind of standing water that's worth correcting. You'd end up having to reinstall 250 plus feet of sewer line to get rid of it. And there's no major debris buildup. Like I mentioned before, do a rescope of 1 to 2 years to keep an eye on the line, make sure it doesn't need to be cleaned out. Lines of this length, and the length plus a little bit of standing water can cause some debris to hang up in the line, so you want to keep an eye on it. And then I recommend a repair at, well, I guess that was 39 feet from the first clean out. That's under the asphalt, and it's right next to the second clean out here, and I already showed that here right when I put the camera in. I recommend correcting that joint. Again, it's not affecting the flow at this time, but it's one of those that if given time, it could allow roots to come in or something of that nature. Now, but the sewer line is functioning at this time out to at least 235 feet. Make sure you contact the city, find out how they've divvied up responsibility. It's a very unique line. Generally, your line only goes out to the street and then hits the main out there. This one's traveling all the way down the road out to Bull Mountain. And so it's hard to say if the city takes any responsibility for it or not. Anyway, that's where we started down there with the first clean out. Line comes up this way, and then just past that spot, that's where the repair is at.